Alright, so this will be my first YouTube video that I'm dropping on here, and we are going to go hard and go in the paint on things that relate to mindset and wellness around mental health, emotional health, and just your ability to become the best version of you. Now, my name is Louis Stockley. I'm a health and wellness coach. I mainly work with people that I call heart-centered. A heart-centered person is somebody that's so selfless that sometimes we might find ourselves putting our needs on the back burner in favor of everything else, or being kind to a fault, as I like to call it. Now, what I'm going to do on this channel is I'm going to start sharing with you Number one, tips that you can take action on to help improve your mindset, to remove the limits without getting burned out and getting stressed and getting overwhelmed or bogged down with the complexities of it. Number two, I'm going to be sharing stories of the people that I have worked with and am working with in the past that are getting amazing results, going through all the tips and strategies I will teach you on this channel. And then number three, I might show you a bit of my life, a bit of a day in the life of what it's like to be me, to go and grind on all the different disciplines. I'm not only an entrepreneur, I have a career, I'm in sales, I do a lot of different things. I'm a father, I have 3 kids, I've got a wife that I've been married to since I'm 19. All of these different aspects came together to create this person that's right here in front of you. Now, 6 years ago, I just dived into the idea of becoming the best version of myself physically and mentally. The culmination of all that work, I am where I'm at right now. I was 30 years old, I'm 36 now, and I'm gonna give you the benefit of everything I learned. So let's start with the topic of today. People's usual belief is multitasking is not working, that you have to pick one thing and focus on it all the time or you'll never get anything done. But I have to get you to understand this. Everyone is different. And whether you are focused on one single thing and trying to get tasks done, or you're focused on multiple tasks and trying to get them done, there is a way to make it work. It's just based on you and your personality and your life. Now, for me personally, I have ADHD, and it is extremely hard for me to focus on one task at a time and go through my entire day structured and planned that way. So my preference is to take multitasking to the next level and make things more intuitive. But for somebody who's more of an analytical thinker, who is able to focus on one task at a time till it's complete, then the other route is for you. So let's talk about number one, to maximize your ability to get things done throughout the day. This is for people that prefer to focus on one thing at a time. Always lean on your lists. You don't have to have a strict, structured list of things that you need to do exactly in the order and the exact time you need to do them. You need to have a list of your priorities and rank them. What's the most important thing for me to get done today? That needs to be at the top of your list. Now, what you're going to do as you flow through this list and you get tasks done, you're going to create little subcategories into each of these. And in the subcategory, you're going to document what you have done. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and keep checking these things off. As you get throughout the day, you don't have to expect to get through that entire list. Just expect to make progress. With anything I'm going to teach you on this video, always look for progress, not completion. When you look for completion and you don't get it, immediately your brain releases cortisol and you get stressed and you stop. So one thing I want you to do is shift that mindset around. I need to get to the end of this outcome and focus on that journey, focus on that process. So with singular focus, you want to use lists. Number 2, you want to be visualizing that the task is completed in the easiest manner possible. Even if it seems complex and difficult, in your head, you want to generate the images and the feelings that this is going to be done completely and it's going to be done with ease. Because a lot of times we're making connections to the subconscious and the path is going to get laid out for us as we start taking steps. But if you think about it negatively, it's going to take you twice as long to get things done. And then number 3, I've already alluded to it, manage your expectations. I want you to look for progress, not completion. Look for progress instead of completion. I made progress today. That feels amazing, is how you should be repeating things back to yourself. When you think, oh, I didn't get that done, you beat yourself up. You're not making it easy for you to come back the next day and just keep going. You're making yourself want to procrastinate and quit. So for all my singular task people that can focus on one thing at a time and knock it out, that's how you want to do things. And understand that life happens. So if you're working on a list item and something happens, your kids start screaming, or there's an emergency at your job and you got to stop, you documented your steps so you don't have to fret or worry about forgetting your place or forgetting where you are. You handle the emergency, you handle the situation, and get back to it. Now, for my fellow multitaskers, this is straight simple for you, but it starts out the same way as my single focus people. If you are a multitasker, the first thing you want to do too is create a list of priorities. A list of priorities is intuitive because it allows you to focus on different aspects of things and get back to wherever you want to. Whatever your interest is, whatever your focus is, you pick an item off of that list and you take off and you run with it. Now, how do you maximize this? You maximize it by testing your capabilities around multitasking. Gary Vee taught this the best. He says that as a multitasker, he's always trying to push things to the next level, but he's not expecting that everything's going to work out 100%. He's multitasking so much, but he expects that certain things are going to drop off or not work out well. And as he figures out what's not working out well, he learns the lesson and he gets better at tackling multiple tasks at the same time, or tackling them in close proximity to each other. Now, science dictates that multitasking is not good for your brain because your brain cannot focus on multiple things at the same time. It has to use energy to stop one thing and focus on the other and go back and forth. But what I have learned intuitively is your brain adapts to whatever you put it through. It creates those nice little wrinkles as you try to put it through challenges so you can become a better multitasker. You just have to make that your intention. So what you want to do is push the envelope. How many things can I work on? What things can I flow through and focus on today? And find out what your limit is. Find out what your limit is. Once you know your limit, you will be able to take things to the next level, which is number 3. Document your guidelines. How many things can you focus on at one time? How many things can you go back and forth with and create optimal results and not feel stressed and not feel frustrated? Is it 2 different things? Is it 3 things? Understand that limit. Now, you're understanding the limit because later on this is going to be your Bible. This is how you're going to live your life and move forward. Now, an example of how I multitask. I run an online coaching business, but I'm pursuing an active career in IT, and I'm applying for new jobs, looking for new careers, and I'm also going to be working on selling life insurance and health insurance. Now, you're thinking I'm crazy as hell, but it works for me because I'm able to prioritize what's most important in each of these categories and attack it as I need to. So let's go, for instance, with health insurance. I had to learn what I needed to know in order to apply for the health insurance license and study. But I also needed to have time to write resumes for my IT job. And I also need to be able to service my online coaching clients. So how do I balance all that in? I set what the priority is for the day. The highest priority is going to be the one that has a deadline attached to it. And so with the insurance licensing course, that course expired after a certain amount of time. So that specific day, I had to set that as the highest priority. I'm going to squeeze this in and get all the studying done. And here's the beauty of multitasking. As you're going through this struggle of getting all these tasks knocked out, these priorities, your brain starts to come up with easier ways to get it done. So on this online course, I figured out that it didn't have to sit there and read through all the material. I could actually just create a PDF, use an app called Speechify, drop the PDF in the app, and listen to it as I'm walking around doing other things, or as I'm working on my resume in my ear. I'm listening to all the material I need to know to take this licensing exam for health insurance. And that's just an example of how you can go about multitasking intuitively. As you take steps forward in all these different directions, your brain starts to work out how to make it more efficient for you. But it's going to be a struggle at first. You just make sure you understand that you're recognizing your progress, which brings me to what you finally need to know. In any of these ways that you choose to move forward and get more done throughout the day, you want to keep track of your progress. Always be writing down what you completed and what you got done. You want that good feeling that comes with being able to check that off and say, yes, I finished. I got this done. And with that, you'll be able to get more done throughout the day. And the benefits of this compound over time. I don't think you understand how powerful that is. It compounds over time. As you get better and better at knocking out singular tasks quickly, or multitasking, going back and forth and making progress, your brain gets more efficient, it gets more powerful, it gets a stronger memory. Everything you need is going to improve to the 10x if you just keep coming back every day and following this same method. Now, what I suggest is not trying both of them, one day this way, multitasking one day this way. Focus. I want you to pick one and dedicate 30 days to trying it that way and see how it feels. Because one or the other is going to work for you, or maybe both, but go with the one that feels more natural to you, that feels less stressful, that feels good. You should not feel like you're forcing through these things. You should feel like you're flowing through these things. And no matter which way you choose, plan in break times. 5 minutes out in nature like I am right now, or 5 minutes breathing, 5 minutes reading, meditating. There's a huge list of things you can do. Give yourself controlled breaks, because if you don't give yourself controlled downtime, your brain will take it. Your brain will take downtime instead. It's very important. On my next video, we'll go into stuff like that. Maybe I'll talk about getting burned out next time. But what I want you to do right now, if you got some value from this and you're about to take this 30-day challenge and try either single focus or multitasking, let me know in the comments right now. Let the community know in the comments right now so everybody can help push you forward towards your goals. Because the name of my online coaching business is Operation Dream Big. And without being able to take control of this and feeling amazing here, you cannot pursue your big dreams and make them come into reality. You will instead get frustrated and crash and burn every time. So with that, I hope I gave you a tremendous amount of value. Let me know where you're from. But let's chat it up. If you have any other questions about this or anything I can talk to, put it in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.